Good morning, all. Today, we will discuss about torque. Some of the examples related with torque. First, we going to discuss central force motion and the law of equal areas. Actually, it is connected with Kepler's laws. We know that in 1609, the mathematician and astronomer Johannes Kepler announced his first two laws of planetary motion. And he also find out a third law also. But in 1609, he find out the two laws. The first is that the orbit of all the planets are not circle, but they are ellipses. And the second is that the law of equal areas, that is the area set out by the radius vector from the sun to a planet in a given time is the same for any location of the planet in its orbit. In the figure, the area set out by Earth during a month at two different seasons are shown shaded. The point A, it is a rainy season, and B is a summer season. That is, at the summer, the Earth is near to sun, and in the winter season, it is very far. Okay, so we know that it is the shape of ellipse. Okay, then this radius vector swept the area by a month. This is the shaded, it is in the summer season, and this is a winter season. Okay, so the Earth is moving in this way. So we have to prove that this is the area in a month. Here we have to find the area set out by second, or dA by dt. Here At B, the radius vector is very small. Then look at this arc is high. Okay, and at the point A, the radius is must be greater, then this length must be smaller. Here we consider a particle moving under central force. The force is taken as F of R is equal to F of R cap, where Fr has any depends on R that we can choose. So here we discussing about torque. Tau is equal to R cross F of R, that is equal to R cross F of R cap, because we know that the R vector and the R cap have the same direction, so it must be equal to 0. The angular momentum of the particle is therefore constant, because we know that tau is equal to dl divided by dt. Tau is equal to dl divided by dt, that is equal to 0. If d by dt, a quantity, is equal to 0, time derivative of a quantity is equal to some quantity is equal to 0, then that quantity time derivative is 0. It is not changing in time. That means it is a constant. So here dl by dt is equal to 0 means L is a constant, both in magnitude and direction. An immediate consequence is that the motion is confined to a plane. As the angular momentum is constant in both magnitude and direction, so the motion of a planet is confined to a plane. Otherwise, the direction of L would change with time. Okay, here as L is constant both in magnitude and direction, so the planar motion, the motion of a planet takes place in a plane. Consider the position of the particle at t and t plus delta t. Here it is the first point and it is the second point. It is at the time t and it is at time t plus delta t. Okay. So at this position, here we taken at the position 1, its polar coordinates are r theta, and at the point 2, its polar coordinate are r plus delta r, theta plus delta theta respectively. Then the area stepped out is this one. Okay, this is the initial point and this is the final point. Then the shaded portion is the area stepped out by the radius vector. So we have to find such an area here. Okay. For that, just consider this figure. Here, consider this figure. Here we redraw this figure as this. Okay. What we have to do here? Here, this is the point, and this is the second one. Okay, or this is R of t, isn't it? Okay, and this is the R of t plus delta t. Okay, so here from this point we drawn a perpendicular or a normal to this radius vector. So at this point, this must be equal to what? This must be equal to R. Okay, here we draw a perpendicular, so it must be equal to R. Okay, then we take this is will be delta R. The total length is R plus delta R, then this is equal to delta R. Okay, then as this angle is delta theta, this distance that must be equal to this arc, or I call it as this arc must be equal to R into delta theta, because we know that arc is in angle is equal to arc by radius, then arc is equal to angle into radius. So this length, this is a radius vector and this is the angle, then it is R delta theta. Okay, so for small values of delta theta, the area delta A approximately equal to the area of the triangle with base R plus delta R and altitude R delta theta. So we have to find the area of the triangle that is shaded in the previous figure. Okay. So we have to find that quantity. For that, we have written here, this is the altitude R delta theta and this length is R plus delta R. Okay. Then what is the area of a triangle of this type? So the area of a triangle, that is equal to area of a triangle having base B and height H, it is half BH. Then here 1 by 2. Here the base is R plus delta R. 1 by 2 R plus delta R. And what is the height here? Height is R into delta theta. Okay. That is equal to, when we are multiplying it, it is equal to, first term is 1 by 2 R square delta theta plus 1 by 2 R delta R delta theta. Okay. Then the rate at which the area swept out is for that. First we have to find out the rate of change of area swept out, or we have to find dA divided by dt. We have to find dA divided by dt. Okay, what is dA by dt? Using calculus, dA by dt must be equal to limit delta t turns to 0 delta A by delta t. Okay, so first we divide this equation throughout by delta t. Okay, delta A divided by delta t is equal to 1 by 2 R square delta theta by delta t plus 1 by 2 R delta R delta theta by delta t. Okay, then dA divided by dt is equal to limit delta t tends to 0. I take 1 by 2 common from both, 1 by 2 into R square delta theta divided by delta t plus R into delta theta delta R divided by delta t. Okay. Here, when delta t turns to 0, the contribution from the second term will be negligibly small. Okay, so here we write the contribution only from the first term, or that is equal to 1/2 when limit delta t turns to 0. This term delta theta by delta t must be equal to d theta divided by dt. Okay, d theta divided by dt. So dA divided by dt is equal to 1/2 r square d theta by dt. Here we see that the small triangle with sides are theta delta theta. This is the area of this triangle. Okay. Then if this is if delta if delta t is very small, this angle must be very small, then this must be very small, then the triangle, the area of the triangle will be vanishingly small. So we neglected that quantity. Okay. So for small angles, in polar coordinate, the velocity of a particle is equal to, what is expression of velocity in polar coordinate? It is r dot r cap plus r theta dot theta cap. Okay. Then the angular momentum is equal to what? Angular momentum is L is equal to r cross L is equal to r cross p. Okay. Here I write r cross mv, that is equal to I write the r vector as r modulus into r cap cross m into r dot r cap plus r theta dot theta cap. It will be equal to what? Okay. We can find it by the multiplication or by the method of matrices, determinants. Okay. R cross. Here the first term, when taking cross product with first one, it will vanish, and the second is r cap cross r theta dot theta cap. Then it is r square r into r square theta dot r cross theta, r cross r cap. We have to find r cap theta cap. Here we use r and theta, the polar coordinate for xy. then Z must be mutually perpendicular to this one. This is the direction of R and this is the direction of theta. Then it is positive Z. Then it is equal to here also a m here m r square theta dot k cap. Okay. So dA divided by dt is equal to so we have right dA by dt that is equal to 1 by 2 r square d theta by dt or d theta by dt or that is equal to 1 by 2 r square theta dot. Okay, so from here we can write, look at here, r square theta dot is equal to what? Here this is L, but L has component along Z direction. Okay, so I write here Lz is equal to m r square theta dot. Then r square theta dot is equal to Lz divided by m. Okay, so we write it is equal to Lz divided by Lz divided by 2m. Okay, here we know that Lz is constant. Lz is constant for central force. Okay, then here mass is also a constant. Then it follows that dA by dt is constant also. Okay, so dA by dt is constant. Now the torque on a sliding block. Here we taking the same example as discussed in the case of angular momentum. A small block of mass m sliding along x-axis with a velocity v is equal to vi. The angular momentum of the block around the origin B is obtained as LB is equal to MRB cross V. It is obtained as MLV K cap. Okay. So if the block sliding freely, V does not change and LB is therefore constant because there is no torque on the block. Suppose now the block slows because of a friction. Okay, here we consider the case of a friction. Friction act in the minus x direction. Okay, here the force is given as F is equal to F vector is equal to minus Fi. Okay, so the torque tau must be equal to tau b is equal to Rb cross F. Okay, so that is equal to minus L F K, because we know that when the point is origin is at B, the Rb vector must be equal to L. Okay, so dl by this is equal to what? dlb by dt. Okay, because of we know that torque tau is equal to dl divided by dt, dlb by dt, that is equal to minus L F K cap. Okay, so this is also, these are both expressions are the same. Here actually LB is equal to here actually LB is equal to what? LB is equal to the expression for LB is equal to M L V. Okay, then delta of, we have to find here dLB by dt. Delta LB is equal to delta of this quantity. Here M is constant, L is constant, so the change only occur in delta V. Okay, delta LB is equal to ML delta V. Okay, to find dl by dt, we dividing it by delta t, dividing it by delta t. Then dl by dt is equal to dlb by dt is equal to limit of this quantity. Then limit delta t turns to 0 ml delta v by delta t. Okay, or that is equal to ml m into L into dv by dt. Okay, but m into dv by dt is equal to m into dv by dt is equal to what? M into dv by dt. This is actually m, this is a, dv by dt is the acceleration. According to Newton's law, that is equal to applied force. Here, the force is equal to minus F. Okay, here the frictional force that is equal to minus F. So we substitute that quantity, then it is equal to minus L F cap, that is equal to tau p. Now it is important to keep in mind that tau and L depends on the choice of the origin. The same origin must be used for both when applying the relation tau is equal to dl by dt. So when we comparing tau is equal to dl by dt, or we using this equation to find tau, here we use the point B, and in the same B must be used to evaluate L also. Okay, so when we evaluating the torque about B, then you must evaluate the angular momentum about the point B itself. If we consider tau A, in that case, we have to use the same point A to evaluate the angular momentum. The angular momentum of the block in this example changed only in the magnitude and not in direction, because tau and L happen to be along the same line. Okay, now we going to discuss about the torque on a canonical pendulum. We have calculated the angular momentum of a conical pendulum in two different origins. First is about A and the second is about B. Okay. Here we take the point A as the origin at the center of the circular plane. In that case, we obtain angular momentum. LA is a constant. But for the second case, we take another point B that is on the axis at the pivot point. In that case, we obtain the angular momentum shifts through the space as the pendulum rotates. Okay. Nevertheless, the relation tau is equal to dl by dt will be satisfied for both cases. So here we going to prove the relation tau is equal to dl by dt in both cases. In the figure, the force diagram is shown. T is the tension, and here mg is the weight. For uniform acceleration, for uniform circular motion, there is no vertical acceleration. That is, to move it in a circular path, the motion must be in a plane, okay, in a complete circular path. Then there is no vertical acceleration. There is no vertical movement. Consequently, we can write from the figure that T cos alpha minus mg must be equal to 0. Or if you finding the component of tension along the direction. Okay, we finding along this direction. Okay, this must be equal to T cos alpha. Then T cos alpha minus mg is equal to 0. As the bob moves along this circular path, it accelerates towards the axis. Okay, hence the net force F on the bob is radially inward. That must be equal to the inward force. It is a component of tension along horizontal direction. Then F must be equal to the inward force must be equal to the horizontal component of the tension. F is equal to minus T sine alpha R. Okay. Then the torque on the mass around the origin A, that is equal to tau A, that is equal to RA cross F. Okay, here this is the length RA, or that is equal to R cross F, or here that quantity is equal to, I write R into R cap. This is the modulus of R vector cross minus T sine alpha R cap. Here both are in radial direction. It must be equal to 0. Okay. Hence, d by dt of LA must be equal to 0. As tau A is equal to 0, dLA by dt must be equal to 0, or LA is a constant, or LA is equal to constant. So in the case of the point B, the torque tau B is equal to RB cross F. Okay. Then the modulus of tau B is equal to modulus tau B is equal to, what is the modulus of RB? Modulus of RB is equal to L. Then modulus of F and cos of alpha. This we find the cross product. RB into F cos theta then modulus of RB is L, and modulus of F cos alpha, or that is equal to, what is the modulus of F? This L into modulus of F is equal to T modulus of F is equal to T sine alpha, okay, into cos alpha. So L into T into sine alpha into cos alpha, okay. And we know that T cos alpha is equal to mg. In the case of conical pendulum, from the analysis of force diagram, we obtain T cos alpha minus mg is equal to 0, or T cos alpha is equal to mg. So we write T cos alpha is equal to mg, then it is equal to mg L sin alpha. Here we use mg L sin alpha. Okay. Here the picture shows that the direction of toe B is tangential to the line of motion of ear. Okay, then toe B is equal to the toe B vector is equal to m g L sin alpha. That direction is theta cap, mgl sin alpha theta cap, where theta cap is the unit tangential vector in the plane of motion. So we obtained the value of toe B as mgl sin alpha theta cap. So now we have to prove toe B is equal to dl by dt of lb. We know that lb is equal to mlr omega. Okay. And we know that the component of angular momentum in the direction is Lz is equal to mlr omega sin alpha. And the horizontal component Lr is equal to mlr omega cos alpha. So Lb is equal to the sum of these two components. Okay. Here we can find that Lz is constant, as we expect, because Tb has no vertical component. But Lr is not constant, as it changes its direction as the bob swing around while the magnitude of LR remains constant. Okay, now we first finding dLR divided by dt. Okay, then a constant vector A can change in time is to rotate if its instantaneous rate of rotation d theta divided by dt, or we can write, this is from the mathematics, that is a constant vector a constant vector a vector having constant magnitude A can change in time is to rotate, and that if its instantaneous rate of rotation is d theta by dt, then dA by dt modulus must be equal to A into d theta divided by dt. Okay, in that way we can write using such an identity, d by dt of LR modulus must be equal to LR into d theta by dt, that is equal to d theta divided by dt, that is equal to omega, then LR omega. dLR by dt, that is equal to LR omega. Another way to calculate dLB by dt, to write LB in a vector form and then differentiate. We have written LB in two components, that is LB is equal to MLR omega sine alpha k cap. It is in vertical component. It is the horizontal component MLR omega cos alpha. Here it is sine alpha. Here it is cos alpha r cap. Then we find derivative. Okay. When we finding the derivative, look at here. The z component of LB does not change. Okay. Then it is equal to 0. Only this component changes. Okay. The variation of this d by dt of this quantity must be equal to 0. So dL by dt of this quantity, here m constant, L constant, and r constant, omega and cos alpha. But here the only changing quantity is the direction. Okay, then the r cap magnitude is constant, only the direction changing. Then we write ml r omega cos alpha, it is d by dt of r cap. Okay, from the chapter basic mathematics. Okay, we know that dr by dt is theta cap. Sorry, dr by dt is equal to what? D by dt of r cap is equal to it is equal to theta dot theta cap, or that is equal to omega theta cap. So we substituted here dr divided by dr by dt is equal to omega theta cap. Okay. Now we're discussing the last example of the torque due to gravity. We often encounter systems in which there is torque exerted by gravity. Examples are pendulum, a child's top, and a falling chimney. In the usual case of uniform gravitational field, the torque on a body around any point is r cross omega, sorry, r cross w. Here, w is the weight of the body, and r is the vector from the center of mass. Okay. So here our problem is to find the torque on a body of mass m around the origin A when the applied force is due to uniform gravitational field G. Okay. To evaluate torque, here we consider this body as a collection of particles, a collection of so many particles. Okay. Then the torque tau j on jth particle is given by how can we written? It is equal to tau j is equal to rj cross mjg. Okay. Where rj is the position vector of jth particle from the origin A and mj is the mass. Then the total torque is, it can be obtained using the summation. Okay. So the total torque tau is equal to summation of tau j over j, that is equal to what? Summation j. Tau j is equal to rj cross mj g. Okay. rj cross mj g. Here we can write it is equal to, as mj is a scalar quantity, we can take it outside of the cross product. Then I write summation j mj rj cross g. Okay, rj cross g. So this is written as summation J. Here I write Mj Rj cross G. Okay, here this quantity summation J Mj Rj, it is equal to what? It is equal to Mj Rj. It is his center of mass. Summation Mj Rj is the center of mass, or we know that summation J Mj Rj is equal to capital M into R vector. Okay. So here we substitute where R is the position vector of the center of mass. Then tau is equal to what? Tau is equal to, we substitute that quantity here. Then it is equal to M R cross G. Then here we write it is R cross M G. Mg is equal to W, or we write it is equal to R cross W. So this is the result. So I stop here. This is the examples of torque. Thank you.